Hello everyone, this is AJ and welcome to episode 4 of A Tangled Web. Yes, today I'm going to be reviewing The Amazing Spider-Man, so let's talk about it. Okay, so as you know, we're coming into the lead up to the new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, and thusly daily I am reviewing every Spider-Man film before I go and see the new one, and then I'll do a ranking of the whole lot, including that. So over the past 3 days I have watched the Sam Raimi trilogy, and now I'm starting with Mark Webb's The Amazing Spider-Man. So this movie here, The Amazing Spider-Man, this came at us here in the UK. It was released on July the 3rd of 2012 with a 12A rating and a runtime of 2 hours and 16 minutes. The director for this movie, ironically named Mark Webb. The screenplay was by James Voidebilt, done the story, but also the screenplay along with Alvin Sargent and Steve Kloves. So 3 writers on this. The musical score was done by the great James Horner, fantastic composer. Now Mark Webb was given a budget of $230 million for this movie, and it went on to make an impressive worldwide gross of $758 million, or just shy thereof. So a fantastic amount of money for Sony yet again. This series is always making money for them. Obviously it didn't make as much as the previous Spider-Man film. Now this film saw Peter Parker, Spider-Man, being played by Andrew Garfield, who's a fantastic actor. He's really good. Emma Stone was cast as Gwen Stacy. We've done away with Mary Jane. There's no Mary Jane in this movie whatsoever. We've started with the Gwen Stacy stuff. Rhys Ifans plays Kurt Connors, aka the Lizard. Dennis Leary as Captain Stacy. And you've got Martin Sheen and Sally Field on duty as Uncle Ben and Aunt May. The slogan for this story, or for this film, is "The Untold Story Begins." And therein lies a problem. But we'll get into that. So again, we're introduced to Peter Parker. He's at high school. Now, it's a bit more updated. He's a bit sort of nerdy but cooler, shall we say. He's quite confident in himself, but awkward. There's an awkward confidence to him. He's got no problem standing up to bullies and this sort of stuff. And as the story progresses, we go through the origin story again. He gets bitten by a spider, blah, 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 develops spider powers, you know the story. But in this one, part of the story revolves around, and this is where the tagline comes into play, his parents. They start the film off with a flashback to him as a child, and there's this mysterious stuff going on with his folks, and this is the reason why his folks have left him with Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Now in the comics, this was never a real thing. It may have been later on, I'm not aware, but in the early days, certainly not. So again, you've created an origin. It can't just. You've stepped away from having this simplistic origin to trying to give more to that origin story. So basically, Peter Parker's parents worked for Oscorp. His dad worked with Kurt Connors. They were developing a geno-splicing thing, splicing animal genes with human genes to try and create sort of hybrids, so to speak. And thusly, this is where... So him being bitten by a spider comes into play, because he goes to Oscorp when he finds out about Kurt Connors, and he finds the spiders, he gets bit by a spider and develops his spider powers. So it's quite sort of complex in that sense. Obviously Kurt Connors with the gene splicing uses this to uses lizard DNA to try and regrow his arm, but much like with what happened to the Goblin in the first Spider-Man film, the stuff he uses has an effect on his mind and makes him go a bit sort of crazy when he, as the Lizard, and goes out and does bad stuff. yeah, you know, he wants to spread this gas over the city that turns everyone into lizard creatures, to bring out the best of, you know, to make them a better, more, a stronger type of humanoid, so to speak. Anyway, this sort of complex story. Yeah, it's an odd film. I'll say that. It's not a bad film. I think that Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone are extremely well cast. I do like Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, although he would have been better as an older Peter Parker, where he's left school, left college, and sort of a more established Spider-Man. He would have been better off in that sort of a role. But no, you had to get an origin story again. It was only been 5 years since the previous Spider-Man film, so pretty damn soon. His on-screen chemistry with Emma Stone is fantastic. A joy to watch through the entire film. Andrew Garfield's performance is fantastic throughout the film. In comparison to Tobey Maguire, he's a lot more animated in his mannerisms and this sort of thing. A bit more sort of jittery. Yeah, he's a joy. He's a fantastic actor and a joy to watch. Same with Emma Stone. Brilliant actress. And they both deliver in the roles and what they've got to do in the film. Martin Sheen and Sally Field stand out as Aunt May and Uncle Ben, especially Martin Sheen as his uncle. He steals some scenes that he's in. He's very, very good. Rhys Ifans as Kirk Connors is adequate. When he turns into the lizard, I don't particularly like the design of the lizard creature. It should have had more of an elongated face, like in the comics. It looks a bit silly. Overall, the effects in the film look fantastic. I won't knock them. Apart from the lizard, again, the lizard at times it just doesn't really work. But the swinging and all this sort of stuff, the Spider-Man stuff, all brilliant. The suit design, fantastic. Now, like I said, the film runs at 2 hours and 16 minutes, and it does feel long. It lacks something. It lacks even the last Spider-Man film, Spider-Man 3, which is not as good a film as this. That film still runs smooth though. This film's got pacing issues, shall we say, that makes it seem like it's dragging. So there are issues in the writing. I will say that, but overall, it's not a bad film. The musical score by James Horner is second to none. Gives Spider-Man a fantastic theme, a fantastic musical score theme. For the character, the action scenes with the music ramps up are fantastic. Like I said, the film is a lot darker. It's a lot darker in tone. It's a lot darker in its storytelling and in everything that it does, pretty much. So when you compare it to the Sam Raimi trilogy looks lighter, it looks brighter, it looks like a more colourful world. This film is a lot darker. The use on screen of darkness is more apparent within this film series, within this film. I won't say film series, sorry. Just in this film, is a lot more apparent that it's darker. But overall, a decent start to Andrew Garfield's tenure as the character that wouldn't go on to last very long. There are sprinklings of that Sony mandated stuff within this film. It does feel like they're trying too hard. It does feel like Sony had been saying, we need you to do this, we need you to do this, we need you to do this. There's stuff in the film that's not required. Like I said, the stuff with Peter Parker's parents, you don't need in the film. It makes it too complicated. It makes his origin story too just... there was nothing wrong with the simplicity of the original origin story, and this, I don't know. It seems to drop the ball in that sense by trying to add more to it that ultimately goes nowhere. It's never finalised because of what happened with the next films. But anyway, other than that, it's an enjoyable film. I watched it in 4K. It looks fantastic in 4K. Sounds fantastic. It's got some good action scenes. One of the best Stan Lee cameo performances in a Marvel film ever. But yeah, so an okay film. I'm probably going to give it a break tonight after this one. I've got to go into The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm not particularly looking forward to that. But I will watch it, and I will obviously do my review and give you my thoughts on it. Anyway, this is AJ. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode of A Tangled Web. Thanks all. Take care and goodbye.